exactly. And we all have trauma.
Yeah.
A lot of women have trauma. And you got to know if you want to help her see through it and get through it, or if you don't. You know, that's hard to do. And like if you have your own baggage too, you got to evaluate that, make sure you're healing in the right ways as well, you know, stuff like that. So honestly, it's a two-way street. I just think both people just have to just try their best to make things happen. If it doesn't work out, then you guys go your separate ways, because life will go on. You know? It's like you guys said. What is the saying you guys have on the sticker? It said, maybe it'll get better. Maybe it gets better. I like that saying, because maybe it gets better. Just keep going. Yeah. You know, like people forget about that part. Now closure is necessary for me. I can't leave Actually, I'm lying. It never used to be. But when you fall deep for someone, you need a little closure. Look at
I'm just thinking.
Maybe it gets better. Maybe it gets better. What does that mean? Maybe it gets better. Why did you guys put that on there?
Cause any advice we give through life, like we're just letting you know, like maybe it gets better. Like we're waiting.
I like that.
Come speak to us, you know.
Yeah.
So this is like a mental health podcast. Like I feel like that's like a good like message.
And we're not giving no like, it's not for sure, but we can always talk about it.
Yeah.
I like that.
There's
no false hope.
Yeah, there's no guarantee. It's like mad realistic, but it's like it's just having an optimistic perspective on things.
I like that. Positivity. Let's get into it, man.
What's good, guys? It's your boy Sima, your boy BlckkStar, your boy Delux, and we got a special guest in the building. Tell the people, your name.
Tashai from Players Play. You guys already know Mr. Players Play himself.
Yep. We got him in the building.
You said BlckkStar? Sorry.
BlckkStar.
That's my dad. My dad has like a sound clash and DJs, and that's his name.
Really?
yeah. BlckkStar. That's BlckkStar Sound.
Oh, okay. That's dope.
Yeah.
But yeah. See, the name's proper.
Yeah. And we're in close proximity to, remember I was showing you.
He grew up in stuff, he's from these ends.
Yeah, he's from the ends. He's from the ends. Yeah. So it's crazy.
Yeah, clap it up for Tashai.
Wait, am I supposed to clap too?
I mean, okay. Yo, pick up yourself, So, we'll start with the meat and potatoes. So, tell us about yourself. Like, who's Tashai?
Who's Tashai? Tashai is an outgoing, creative, free-spirited person. Yeah. I like to take risks, a lot of risks, sometimes bad, sometimes good. But, like, the way I look at life these days is, like, try everything, put yourself out there, be who you are unapologetically, and just whoever embraces you from what you put out there, you know, you just connect with them and build with them. I love people though, company. I've always loved like being around people since a kid. Yeah. Because my environment was just, it allowed for a lot of diversity and a lot of different people coming through my house, and I've always like had to interact with different people. So I think it grew with me to this day. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm able to just like connect so many things and put things together. But yeah, a little bit about me is just creative person who's just trying every day. You know, I don't have all the answers. I just try my best every day. Yeah,
and that's pretty much life, you know? Like, none of us really have it figured out. Even if we think we do, it's like, there's always some bullshit to, like, kind of derail us from that thing that we thought we knew, right?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But what made you decide to do Players Play podcast?
So I was actually talking to your friend. What's your name, by the way?
Delux, yeah.
All right, nice to meet you, by the way. Tashai, of course. We already introduced ourselves. But can I get everyone's names real quick?
All right, so Sima.
Obviously, I know your name.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah.
BlckkStar.
BlckkStar? Oh, you're BlckkStar.
Yeah,
my dad's going to rate you still. My dad's going to rate you still. That's his deal. That's crazy.
Deluxe.
Okay. Okay.
Right? So.
Yeah, so like I was telling Delux that basically the pandemic. Yeah. Because honestly, I was like everyone else. Every day was work. I was trying to be an electrician. I'm still like a second year. Yeah. So I was pursuing that, and I was doing like a desk job. I never had no time to try to learn equipment and all that other stuff, you know? But when we had the pandemic and it got to just sit me down, and I started, being on Clubhouse and platforms like that, I got to like express myself and like get more confident. Because, people always tell you could be the class clown, you could be the talkative person, but that doesn't mean like you're able to start a brand or like just go out there and like necessarily do that every day. You might just be a funny guy in class, but that doesn't mean you can just be funny on YouTube, like whatever the case is. So people just, encouraged me to start a pod eventually as I started asking questions on my story. Because I always ask questions on my story, like relationship spicy questions. Because I used to play this little card game. And I used to get the rooms like going like in Clubhouse because I just ask girls the questions and guys.
It's funny that that's kind of like a full circle moment because I noticed that you guys launched game cards.
Right?
So would you say that's your inspiration?
Yeah, it was my inspiration. Shout out to Convo and Chill, to be honest. I'll shout out the card game. Yeah, it's called Convo and Chill.
Yeah.
And it was a whole bunch of questions. And like to make our game a little bit different, I added scenarios and I wanted it to be more situational based on people's opinions and stuff. So like the game gets intense like if you play with a group.
So question,
Yeah.
you started a clothing brand. I have so much questions for you.
Yeah, I did actually.
You started a clothing brand. Was that before the pandemic or?
Yeah. That was before the pandemic. That was when I was in high school. I was like 18, 19. I was trying to be homebound. I didn't want to be outside cuz I was always I'm an outsider. Yeah. There's a reason why I called it outsiders because I was always outside. Like I've traveled. I used to live downtown. I lived in the West. I moved to Brampton. Like I moved all over the place. So I've always been outside. It's kind of crazy. It came full circle. But yeah, 18, 19, I was going to college and I started the brand. I was like, I just need to distance myself from certain things and I wanted to lock in on something.
So how does some of your other things look? Because I see that you're wearing Players Play right now. So I'm wondering like
Branding.
how many different like styles do you have right now?
Honestly, so it's crazy because like I had a clothing line. So once I started Players Play, it was easy for me to just start making clothes because it was just like, okay, I'm just gonna make it for me. Like I don't necessarily sell all the clothes or anything, but I just make it for myself and like my family and friends. Yeah. But I have so much like creative like ideas and like I try to like put it in play. Like I try to like customize it through Players Play now. Yeah, because the name changed.
And it's funny that you went through that process of doing it in high school, and maybe it didn't work out when it needed to, but it's working out now.
Kind of, yeah. The structure of a business, I didn't understand it when I was doing outsiders, like tax write-offs or even just what else? Just like branding, marketing. Sales and like focusing on even like email marketing. Like now I kind of understand the game. Like I see how companies target us. Like
it takes years though.
It takes that.
What's the best thing you've learned from all that?
Everything's marketing.
Yeah,
everything's marketing. It's kind of like smoke and mirrors until it works. That's the next thing I would say I learned, and you just have to be like very relentless and just have a message and have something with substance too, because like fickle things come and go, but if you have some sort of substance or unique appeal, you'll kind of get your name out there better, and it will stick to people more. Yeah. So that was my goal with Players Play.
Finding your niche.
Yeah, and just trying to be like unique in some way, because like people only gravitate to like something that's just so different. I kind of listened to Mr. Beast. He said like to go viral, people will drive down the road, but if they see a purple cow, it's so absurd they have to look and pay attention. So he tries to base his concepts off of like making something just so loud and bold.
Is that why you're wearing all purple?
Kind of. I didn't even take that in.
You touched on something really important in terms of like being unique, right?
Yeah.
When we were having that convo off camera, it was just kind of like, why was it so important for you to do something digital media, especially like in Toronto?
That's interesting. That's a good question. I actually did a mission statement video on that. We have a lot of platforms out here in the city, but I don't feel like we have a bridge to the Americans. Yeah. And I just feel like we're not even like interacting enough as people out here in the city.
Sorry for cutting you off. Know, I feel like the closest bridge right now might have to be Friday.
I think you're right. I watch Friday a lot now too.
Yeah, I've been tapping into his stuff, and I think he's more close to like academics and that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a good.
He's like, cause he's tapped in with all those American guys, and like he's always on like stream with them and stuff. And
yeah.
He's the closest thing right now. Like he's been killing it.
I agree, and I think for the older generation, he's the guy. Yeah. I just want to be like I'm getting old too. Shoot, I'm 29, but I just want to like connect with even like Kai one day, like Reggie. You got Reggie.
Yo, that guy is
Reggie's funny. Reggie,
I'm so happy Kai put him on.
Actually, Kishka is actually the best bridge right now, I would say. Yeah. As an individual person, he is.
Even more than Asian?
Yeah.
In there, though, I would say that.
I think Asian is
you think
more
he's
on
more.
that side.
You think he's more? Yeah, he's more on that side. But like Kishka's still here, and still has like he went to Streamer University. Yeah. He's bringing back some of that attention. So
or K Showtime
too. Showtime too. K Showtime's a big person too. Who has we only have one of him though. It's like we need.
He's one of one though, because like there's nobody in that niche, that ball playing niche, that's like a content creator from our city.
Agreed. Yeah. No, it's true, and we need more. I'm just trying to be the platform, but those guys are definitely individually growing their brands. Yeah. But I do think we need a platform and media hub to connect to them as well.
Yeah.
That could just post different things. That's the thing about Players Play. I like how it is now. It's just kind of post whatever within the niche, but
it's funny. I feel like Six Buzz was that for a bit. But
They were. They kind of deviated. They do more politics now.
Yeah.
A lot of, they have like betting sponsors and stuff. So they're doing good as a brand. But yeah, I just think we need more, I don't know, a face. Because I'm the face of like what I do. I obviously don't know. I know who runs it actually, but I don't think they are posting themselves, right?
So they're very low key.
They're low key with their brand, like, which is fine. You can run a page like that, no problem. But I just want to like see someone just be genuine and just like actively like connecting America to Canada.
Most
I
definitely.
think that's what we need.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's sick.
But I want to ask you guys though. So, what's your mission? Because you guys said it's a mental health podcast. So what's the mission between all four of you, like, or three of you? No, there's four members, right?
Yeah, there's four members. So one member's not here right now.
Yeah.
But like ultimately, like we all came together because we all wanted to do content creating, and I think it ended up boiling down to mental health because Delux is like in that community, right? And like I find that it's very important. Just like just checking on your people, like, just being uplifting, having a space to communicate how you feel and stuff. That's very important because there's not a lot of spaces like that. Like mental health podcast, and that's big right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's only one that I know. I think it's called He's a Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put me on there. He put
I see
me
that
on
clip,
there.
and see, that's the thing with like social media is like I wouldn't know something until it comes across my
Yeah.
So I seen a clip and I'm like, yo, we gotta tap in.
Yeah.
You guys should definitely tap in with them.
We're definitely
They
gonna
did an
make that
event.
happen.
Yeah.
But
that's what's up.
he's a guy like they've been doing their thing too. I've been seeing like and they're very like vulnerable and open with.
I know. Yeah.
And it's like I
seen a guy crying on there, and I'm like, yo, that's real. Like, it's hard to put yourself out there like that because people will, clown you sometimes. Like, and what he said was real though. I watched the whole clip. It was
I
good.
didn't get to see the whole clip, but I did see the guy that was crying. But like even just that, like it's different. Like what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think because we did it we started this a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And at that time there was none. Like I don't think we even knew about the He's a Guy. They probably
they're on the come up too. Right?
Yeah, right.
They started
So
not too long ago.
That was pretty much like the whole reason why we all came together.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I feel like people don't talk about what content creation does to your mental health though. It takes a strain on your mental health. Because even me in the last couple months, people are like, what are you doing next? What's this? What's that?
Yeah.
And like we've just been through so many transitions and just different people coming in and out and just like a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So it's like it's hard to keep
for certain things. This guy almost had a heart attack because like when it comes to managing like. Because he really manages the team, basically.
Let's get into it. I'm getting into your guys' business.
Okay, so at times where, like, when things mess up with storage.
Of course.
Angles, whatnot.
Yeah.
Through the editing, this guy would get real stressed out. Be
Steam coming out his ears?
Yo,
I could see
I
it.
swear I wanted this and that. I told Mans to do this and that. I'm trying to be prepared.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Shit happens, though. But,
But, like, you know what it is? I all these guys, like, I'm very close with, and, like, I feel like we have a lot of potential. We have something good going on. We're very consistent. And it's just, like, when things don't fall into place, it's like, all right, we can make the mistake once, but how do we get past the mistake and continue to be great, right? And, like, I'm coming from a background where I used to play football. Like I know how it is to mess up or fumble a ball or miss a play, but it's like, yo, all right, we're back in practice. How do we make that better?
Yeah.
How do we make sure that we hold the ball tighter? How do we run that 5-yard line and make sure that our defenders are actually keeping us safe, right?
Yeah.
So how do we, as a unit, not make those mistakes and keep going forward?
Yeah.
Right, and that's why I'm so tough on everybody because it's like, yo, like realistically, like we're on like a great run. Like as much as the numbers may not be what it is now, but like Kaisen and he famously said this, like, yo, honestly, I was gonna quit like streaming so much, like I was gonna quit YouTube.
Really? I didn't even see that. Wow.
Yeah, his numbers were low.
Wow.
And he said, yo, he just kept on doing it. He switched to Twitch, and he blew up.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
And it's like
consistency.
Wow.
It's really just that consistency, you know what I mean? It's really just like, getting past that hurdle and keep going.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why we try to drop videos like once a week because The algorithm.
Yeah.
That's a determination to make it through.
Yeah.
I talked to Marcel, like he was one of the guests that we had, and I knew him way before. I actually met him at Gallery, actually.
Okay.
So Marcel was.
Is that a light-skinned guy?
Yeah.
I think I see him.
Yeah, Marcel Williams.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, he was on Clubhouse too back, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think you may have been, or those eras.
Yo, but he was actually a driving force for me to get in pod, because when I met him and he was actually doing a workshop on podcasting, at the time I was probably like 20, 21 or something, so I wasn't taking it seriously.
Yeah.
But I knew that the effects of digital media and like the hard work it takes to really run a brand.
Yeah.
The podcasting is never perfect.
Yeah.
The audio messes up.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, like, as someone that's running the front lines, day-to-day business, where do you go when you feel lost?
Ooh. Friends. Like, I got good friends. I got a good support. I have my brother.
Yeah, JJ, right?
Yeah, JJ. I got a brother that's like, no homo or nothing, but like, he just like very like attentive and caring.
Yeah.
So behind the scenes, he does a lot.
Yeah.
Like nobody.
He's been doing his streaming thing too.
And he streams as well. Yeah. And I can't wait to like, continue to see how he does with that, because he loves gaming. He lives in his own like gaming world, you know. So I love what he does for himself. But just behind the scenes for me, I have like just like him, my sister as well. She's a good person that I talk to, and just a couple other friends. Yeah, just a couple friends that just keep me grounded. Sometimes I could be an overthinker. Sometimes I could be an overthinker or just be pessimistic.
Yeah.
But now I've learned that being positive, it creates more open doors. Yeah. So if you just have that mindset, it's just going to create more opportunities. So you just have to try to keep that mindset on, that positive mindset.
So question, what motivates you when nobody's looking?
My family. A couple of my siblings are young, and I just want to guide them and be the example that they need, because they didn't get the best examples. So it's just it's a legacy thing for me. It's deep for me. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of things that push me to do what I do. I don't think a lot of people would put themselves in the positions I put myself in if they didn't really love what they do authentically. Yeah. So it's just about like just family and just leaving something behind one day. We only have about 27,000 days to live. I did the math. It's crazy. I don't know. That sound crazy, but if you do 365 times like 80, I think that gets you like 26,000 days. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know how old you guys. You're younger than me. You're 21.
Now we're actually the same age.
Yeah.
How old are you guys?
I can't even put my age out.
Yeah. I was gonna say you guys can cut it, but
I want to know. We're not far away.
Okay, not far away. Okay. But man, there's nothing to lose in life. Yeah. Just put yourself out there. Sometimes people get at me for like, I was talking to a girl the other day. I don't know if she's gonna see this, but she's like, oh, like, I'm like, maybe I'm too mature for you or something like that, because you'd be like, you look like you live wild, like you be jumping over stuff, and my energy seems like a certain way online, but like I'm very deep and profound if she really got a chance to meet me and really take me in. But I get why she felt that way, because she is a little bit older than me, but it's just that I'm not gonna let that discourage me. I'm just gonna be me, and like whoever likes that. Yeah.
That's the misunderstanding between introverts and extroverts, though. Like, that usually happens.
Yeah. She looked at me and she's like, yo, you kind of, you might think I'm boring. I'm like, nah, like,
sometimes you need boring, though.
I try to tell her that. She's like, but I don't want to train you. I'm like, you don't gotta train me. Like, we could just, opposites can connect. Like, if I'm a little outgoing, you're a little chilled, we can mix in the middle. Yeah. But it's cool though. We still friends though.
Yeah. Oh, friends.
Yeah, friends owned her. No, I'm joking. We friends owned each other, I guess.
Okay.
So as long as it's mutual. About like kind of like relationships, and like, what's your take on that?
Oh man.
As a player.
Oh man.
As a player.
Oh man.
We need to know.
What's your take? This is a mental health one.
This is mental health one.
Oh man. The lady's been making my heart hurt. No, but honestly, okay, that's a vague question. Yo, man. Honestly,
going through it right now.
Trust me, me too. Yeah, me too. But look, that's what I'll say. I'll say, because that's vague, but I'll try to like put together some words. I'll say nothing's easy. Nothing worth having is easy. Yeah. Don't let anyone judge what you think you may have if it's special.
Talking to the mic.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Don't let anybody judge what you may have if it's special. If you have a vibe, a connection with someone, pursue that. You don't have to always be out there chasing other things. But at the same time, as a man, if someone's playing with your time, you got to make them know who you are.
Yeah.
And not make them take advantage of you.
Boundaries.
You got to have your boundaries and know what's for you. But love will mix or blur the lines. So that's the scary part of it all, you know? You just kind of got to gamble, man. It's a gamble.
It is a gamble.
It's a gamble. Life's a gamble.
Sometimes you don't want to be too stubborn defending your boundaries.
Exactly.
Like, sometimes you got to loosen up.
Yeah.
You be lonely out there.
But it's like, and then the girl don't know late that.
Exactly.
You gotta have like a blend. Like, we're not trying to be like, yo, real like Coach Carter. I said this. You gotta be like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna let this one go.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
It's called compromise.
It's that the stoicism that men try to have. Like sometimes we defend that too much.
I agree. And all these guys be going back though. Don't listen to them. Like if these guys are saying like, oh, you know the red pill guys? Yeah. I really want to see how they act outside of like that pod stuff. Like, you know, I want to see like, are they really that tough and nothing can go, like girls can't make no mistakes and like I don't know, man. That's just interesting.
I don't know. I feel like you gotta stand for something. You're gonna fall for anything though. Like
that's true too. That is true too.
Like I do believe in boundaries and having like a common ground with the person that you're talking to. But like some things you let slide, it just becomes like a landslide. You just keep letting things slide, and
that
it
is
gets
true.
worse.
That is true.
Because I know we've all been like we're all in the room here. We've all been in a situation where we let one thing slide and then it just keeps happening and it gets worse. Like it's like a snowball effect.
That's true. But okay, did you evaluate yourself in those situations as well?
I think because at the time, like it's like I'm not even thinking too much of it. But then like in hindsight, like when it got too bad, I'm like like I shouldn't have let this slide so bad. You know what I mean? I
agree, but I think when you let things slide, it also says more about you. And maybe what you had going on.
I guess it depends on what it is, though.
It depends on what it is, because obviously we're speaking vaguely. But I think sometimes we don't even evaluate ourselves, though. Yeah. And we don't really look at how we're being maybe not the best person to our person.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think like self-reflecting is a very like big thing. Like,
I agree.
It's a painful one.
If
you're really doing that real self-reflection, you got to look back and be like, yo, I was tripping. Like, I don't know why I was on the nonsense.
Exactly.
And when you try to address it, they'll be like, yo, why are you trying to come now?
Exactly.
I was like, yo, because I had to reflect and understand where I was coming from. It's not me flip-flopping on the matter.
Exactly.
It's called growth.
Exactly.
You know what? The point I had before, it's not the point I have now.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's hard to admit that. It's hard to admit that.
You have to have those hard conversations and just force your way through it.
But you gotta find someone that gives you grace at the important, because we're all living for the first time, right? And relationships, whether you've been in 20 or 2 or whatever, you're still gonna make mistakes. Like no relationship is perfect.
Imagine you're getting to know that person as you go. So it's like realizing what like triggers them, what doesn't trigger them. Like it's just like, yo, if you have someone that gives you grace and communicates with you, it makes things so much easier. But not everybody's like that, right? That's
exactly.
the unfortunate part about it.
Exactly. And we all have trauma.
Yeah.
A lot of women have trauma, and you gotta know if you wanna help her see through it and get through it, or if you don't. You know, that's hard to do. And like if you have your own baggage too, you got to evaluate that, make sure you're healing in the right ways as well, you know, stuff like that. So honestly, it's a two-way street. Yeah. I just think both people just have to just try their best to make things happen. If it doesn't work out, then you guys go your separate ways, because life will go on. You know? It's like you guys said. What is the saying you guys have on the sticker? It said, maybe it'll get better. Maybe it gets better. I like that saying, because maybe it gets better. Just keep going. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, like people forget about that part.
So I have a question for you on the topic of like relationships. Yeah. Would you say like closure is really necessary, or is it overrated?
Closure is necessary for me. I can't leave Actually, I'm lying. It never used to be. But when you fall deep for someone, you need a little closure. Look at
I'm just thinking.
To me, closure is like, I just need a hug. Like, It's not even me begging.
Yeah.
It's like whenever you feel like things are about to end, or you feel like, you know what, like I don't feel like where I'm at is gonna help you, and I respect you so much.
Exactly.
Me getting closure is not me begging or trying to get it. It's just me saying like, yo, this is the love I have for you. Yeah. I just want you to know that, and if there's anything on your mind, I just need to get that. I need to get that from you.
Yeah.
I don't want to, hold you back, because I respect you so much.
Yeah.
So let me just get this hug.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with him.
Yeah, no, and I agree. And I just feel like, closure is really necessary, because it's like, like if you just abruptly end something and it's like there's all those lingering feelings, it's always gonna eat at you.
True.
But sometimes you need to, rip off the Band-Aid, because like.
But not everybody can do that though.
It depends on what you mean by rip off the Band-Aid, because you could rip off something and you still have that mark.
That's true.
Yeah, like the scar.
It's
That's
not
true.
hiding anymore. It's not unless
That's
you got
true.
the blendable, band-aids that like skin tones now.
Okay,
That's
but let's
true.
say
It's
you know
true.
there's some damage under.
let's
that,
say
though.
you love the person, but really and truthfully they're being a leech. You have to rip it off. You can't just be careful with that.
But that's more addressing than ripping it off. That's like, hey, I know that I'm not getting the same out of this relationship as you. I'm still addressing the situation, but in a compassionate way. Because I feel like nowadays, I gotta say this, but men in general are geared towards to be more aggressive, like more all these things.
You think so?
I feel like sometimes now, like I've seen so many crash outs. Why is that a thing now? Crashing out, you're throwing your life away.
Wait. We talking like crash outs, like the robberies at the mall?
Robbery, in general, I think in general, like relationships. I've seen so many people just like went on a spiral after like they lost that person in their life.
That's probably, but you don't think that's been happening though?
That's been
it's been happening.
It's been on a rise. Now,
I think men are being more vulnerable nowadays.
Yeah.
If anything, yeah. I think the media's women are always saying, I don't want a feminine man and all that. And I'm like, well, you know, it's hard nowadays because men go through so much and now we're getting platforms to open up. Yeah. So it's like they're saying feminine, but we're just now being a little bit more vulnerable. Yeah. But I do think do you think you can cry in front of your girl? Actually, let's get into that.
Oh. Yeah.
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 Have you? Have you?
I'm gonna be real. I did. I'm gonna be real.
I have before, but only with one person though.
Yeah, say it.
There was only one girl.
I've done it before.
Yeah, it was only one girl. Still, it was only one girl. I ain't gonna lie. And like,
I think it's healthy too, cause like, why am I?
Nah, I'm not doing it again though. That's the last
Wait,
time.
I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Did she use it against you?
She bring back up.
She did it. She did it. I can't even lie on her name. I won't even lie on her name. She did it, but like, nah, she didn't. I
Did
can't
she look
lie.
at you strange after? Because that's another thing. When I talk to the young
Yes,
like,
yes, she has, but I don't know if it was for other reasons. So I'm not gonna tie that crying moment to the, because I was messing up in other ways. So.
How was the atmosphere after you cried in front of her? Like, how did she treat you?
She was an emotional girl too, so we just cried together.
So
but see, that's
sweet.
I feel like that's important in a relationship because it could be like, yo, you say vulnerability is important, but true vulnerability is like when you could just fall apart
and be. I agree because we're all humans.
I feel like that makes the connection deeper though.
I think so too. But
Someone
society
who brings you
otherwise.
to peace. Someone who is your peace and shields you. That's a real woman right there.
I agree.
I'm still looking for that.
Yo, trying to find my peace, man.
But now relationships are complicated. Are you guys? So you guys would say you guys are all lover boys? Like,
oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a lover man still. I go the extra mile.
Information out there.
You got to
know what they know, bro.
I'm like,
some girls at home saying.
It's the same to me, so I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I would say I'm still
same, bro. I'm intentional with my woman. Like I want to be very affectionate. Let her have everything that's in my mind that I want to do creatively. Like I just like to do things randomly. So
it's the small things. I feel like
small things. Yeah.
When you're being considered, because we run different men's groups with the young boys and everything. And
yeah.
So one of the things that it's like. They've lost the idea of what a relationship is outside of what media tells them what a relationship is.
Yeah, true.
When you're actually talking to someone that's been in a relationship and they're going to say the biggest thing is communication. It's like, even for me, when I was single for a long time and I got into a relationship, it was adjustment for me because I love the idea of love, but being in love with someone and actually getting into that relationship is like, you're in a partnership with someone else that's carrying something that they've been through. So if I've been in less relationships and another person has been in more relationship, obviously the scales are a bit tilted on like what they see for their relationship.
Yeah. You're always going to be comparing.
It is always going to be comparing, but you also as a man, because most of the time man's just like, yo, figure it out. Yeah. You have to figure out that relationship piece because if someone has more knowledge than you on the fact, obviously they're going to be like, yo, why are you doing that? And like, yo, I didn't know that. That was good. So there's that like power dynamic a little bit and you got to address that. And I feel like for me, I'm very intentional with relationships. I've only been in honestly 2 relationships. And the reason why is because I don't need to put myself in relationships all the time just to fill a void. Damn. I'm very intentional because if I'm communicating with someone, I'm like, hey, you know what? I want you to be my girlfriend. That's serious to me. I've only shown one girl to my mother.
Damn, I'm fucked up at this.
It's important to me because
I rate that though.
But it's important because I'm not gonna do that to mom. Be like, yo, there's like 5, 10 girls I met. Like,
yeah.
Yo, like if it's serious, my mom is even saying like, yo, if it's serious, you tell me.
Yeah.
But she's like, that's how I am because I'm not gonna put my mom through. Like, yo, what about so and so?
Yeah.
Because my mom's a girl's girl at the end of the day, so she's gonna tell me why I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's important too because at the end of the day, you need someone that's gonna like talk sense into you.
Yeah.
From a woman's perspective,
True.
Because if they're not giving you that, you're just going rough and tough. Like, yo, I said what I said.
Yeah.
I said, yo, I want a prenup, and she's not signing it.
Yeah.
My mom personally was like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
And I need that.
Yeah.
Somebody to keep you grounded.
Someone to keep you grounded to reality because once someone goes off on a tangent and they're like, "Yo, like this is what I'm saying," and I was like, "Yo, fam, like, does that ever work? Like, are you happy with that? Like." Most of the time, they're like, nah, I'm not. Yo, true growth is understanding I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yo, I have a scenario. I want to ask you, like, have you ever had the issue of, like, where you want to be the first to show your woman, like, certain things, like, bring them on certain dates? Like, even though your girl, like, she has friends and stuff like that, and they want to go do things and like have fun, do girls' nights and stuff like that. But you want to be the first to like show this type of place and all that. It makes you vex sometimes when they like end up like doing it on their ones, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And like, has that caused like big arguments?
You go first.
Yo, honestly, I never had that pop up. Like most of the time, I do things that are like cool to me. Like I know when we went to New York and stuff like that, I'll bring people along like that. Or if I go to a fancy restaurant, like to me that's just like I've been to the SDK, I've been to the Sima Tower, I've been to all these things young. So like for me to like, and I don't even think the girl like I think that like I bring people around when I want them to be around. So it's not even like, oh, I'm gonna go meet Masai or something like that, come tag along kind of thing, right? It's like, if I genuinely like you and I want you to be around me, so I'll be like, yo, come to my film premiere, come here, come here.
So you don't even think about it. You don't even think about it.
I don't even think about it.
Same.
I feel like when you live I don't even say extravagant, but like when you're in the public face, you're going places. Like I'm not gonna be like, yo, I know you've never been to a Raptors game. I'll just be like, hey, you know what? Like I got these tickets to a Raptors game right now. Let's go. I don't even say like, yo, and then most of the time they're like, yo, I never did this before. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like I don't register in my head.
What if they're lying though? Because sometimes they say that, and I feel like they're lying.
No, I generally could see on their face that they've never been there before.
Okay.
Like we get like close up to the seats and they're like, whoa.
Okay.
The shine, the sparkle.
Yeah, the sparkle in the eyes.
Bring me here. Like I'm like I don't like I'll bring people anywhere. Like like yo, like you know what? This is only for the serious.
Yeah.
Like I just go out and just have fun, and I think that if they go have all those experiences already, I think you gotta value how that experience is with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could go to a Raptors game with anyone else, but if you're sitting there and you're play by play, you're giving it like, yo, I know that guy.
Yeah.
So have you ever gone through the iPhone setup?
The iPhone setup? What do you mean? Oh, like
cameras?
No, but I'll tell you a thing. So what we used to do, like my first episodes, shout out to my ex. I'm gonna give her some praise. Shout out to my first ex. But basically, her brother had a camera. We used her brother's camera, and like we were doing the same thing. Wait. Oh yeah, you said die every 29 minutes. Yeah, that shit was so annoying. Like our first episode, we're like, yo guys, stop talking.
The battery life.
Battery life. We had to switch it up. Yeah, we used her camera. We rented another one. Yeah, we were grinding it out at first.
What camera are you guys using now?
Now we have the Sony A7 IV. It's a sick camera. So it shoots continuous 2 hours.
I feel like my homie has that. It's like a really expensive camera, like $3 or something.
Yeah. We had to invest. Like I had to write it off. Like I did a lot of. I had to like make it make sense. We'll talk. We'll talk. I got you.
But I think that's important too because everybody thinks like a podcast is just supposed to be perfect. Everyone knows that like you have to be very resourceful. You like the spacing, the equipment. Sometimes you just gotta do with what you gotta do. Because I feel like perfection is what kills a lot of like creativity. Is like I want it to be. You're never gonna get it perfect.
100%. What? My first podcast episode, I hated it. I was uncomfortable. Cameras, the lighting was weird. I didn't even know nothing about like putting it in manual. Like it was a whole, bro. Editing. I tried to edit on iMovie. I had to mute the mics every time. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing.
You did that on iMovie?
Yeah, the first episode was on iMovie.
Yo, I mean, iMovie's better nowadays. But like, when was this?
This was like 2022. March 11th. First drop.
But you definitely came a long way from 2022.
Oh, man, but I was stressed that day. Yo, that first 2-3 weeks, I used to post on my story, who knows how to use equipment? I'll pay you. Come to my house. Teach me. Please. Teach me. I don't know what I'm doing, fam. I was so frustrated. Bro, it spent me like 8 hours for the first episode to try to, because like everyone was talking. We didn't know how to even merge the audios properly. So like, it was bad. It was bad.
One thing about editing, like getting the audio and the video connected,
I didn't even know how to do that. I didn't even know how to do that because iMovie, I tried to, I manually did it.
That's too much.
So like, let's say I'm speaking and like we're all, because like everyone was talking, like I didn't know how to like really like run a pod, so everyone's talking on like during each other. I had to like mute them, then get the main speaker.
It's so funny because when we first started, like I feel like we kind of were in sync with like, yo, who should talk, like you know, and that's the important in the podcast, just like making sure people don't talk over each other because like I've seen it a lot on podcasts where everybody's yelling and nobody can really picture who's actually talking.
Yeah. You see what I like what you guys do? You have 1, 2, 3, so it's you 3. And then you guys have guests all the time, not all the time?
Most of the time, like a good portion of the time.
So what we were doing in the beginning was getting a girl and a guy every single episode, and it was just me and my ex. And it was just so much coordination, trying to get a girl guy every single time. And then it was just a lot. But like I like how you guys have like 4 of you guys that have your own personalities. It's that merged in one. Yeah. So that's good because that means your audience will gravitate to you guys for you.
Just for context, he's my cousin. His other bro that's supposed to be here is also my cousin, and this is like my homie from like high school. So like,
wow, so it's real.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So, I love those ones.
Yeah. It's a great experience doing this, and talking about all this stuff and having guests come through like yourself, right? Like
I'm happy to be here, bro. I respect what you guys are doing. Yeah. I already told you my situation. I would have been here the other time.
Because this is mad long overdue. But
very long overdue. I'm happy I came today, man. I just wanted to get it done though.
You know what I mean?
I be seeing you out all the time. I'm like, yo, this is probably thinking I don't want to come. I really want to come, bro. It's not that, bro. It's not. I know. So I'm just happy I got to do it.
Trust me, I get it.
Yeah.
Everything in God's time, and I always say like, some things don't happen when it's supposed to, but it happens when it needs to.
Facts.
Right? Like,
facts.
So
facts.
Like no hard
Honestly, this was perfect time because like the way things have been going on, like the type of struggles we find ourselves into, like. Yeah. The fact that we have a full circle moment to come back into this space again is great. And then we have you as our guest.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to be here, bro. He always shows love, and like that's why I just want to be reciprocal of course. And just show the same love,
I understand it. Like I'm in the same perspective. Obviously not to your magnitude, but like I understand like what you're going through and like just running the page and having to deal with all these different channels and stuff. So
no, it's refreshing.
Yeah,
to you,
and then
Juve.
Yeah, that.
We'll talk about that.
So what was your no? Let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it right now. What was your experience at Juve?
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
That was your first fet, right?
That was my first fet. It's a 10 out of 10. Jinx are flowing, great energy. I went on TikTok live too. Remember? It was actually getting 1-2 views. I was like, like not that much. Like it went to like 77 at a peak, like 80. That's my first time because every time I go on TikTok live, I'm like 5 people in there.
You had some Americans on there too. I remember
the Americans were kind of interacting. They're like, yo, where is it? So that was really fun. That was fun. Just happy to see you guys. Your people were fun too.
Yeah. Oh, me. I think it was me, my boy Jermaine, and my boy Shamar, and then like just a bunch of other mans that just came that I knew and stuff. Yeah. I'm
gonna send you some clips.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, I have some clips of you guys.
Yeah.
I got you. That was lit.
Yo, we're drinking like street vibes and stuff.
Yeah, we're drinking Appleton.
Yeah, bro, Appleton. Cause I'm like, yo, anytime I go to these like fets or like Caribbean inspired events, I have to bring rum. Like,
yeah.
I feel like it's a disservice.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. Would you guys go to Trinidad?
What? But I heard that's expensive though.
It is. Because I have a friend. I call him Trinimon. Yeah, Trinimon. His name's Kwamina. But yeah, he's like, yo, it's the best feeling in the world.
Yo,
the way he talks about it, bro.
He was on your podcast?
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you guys should get him on.
I got it.
He's pretty funny. He's funny. He just comes with jokes. And it's almost Carabana too. So I always try to get him on around Carabana. He be telling me how to whine. He say, you tap your foot 3 times, left to right, hear the rhythm of the song, and you going through. You're gone clear. Hey, boy. Shout out to him though. But good vibes. But yeah, current events. What are we talking about?
I was going to talk about just trending topics.
Yeah.
I got one right now. How do you feel about Masai leaving
the Toronto Raptors?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not a big basketball fan these days, but That was a good relationship. I think he did a lot of good things for the city. You know, 2019 was a great time. Did you guys go to the parade?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
I went to the parade. Yeah. I got hired at my job that day. I told them, like, yo, I'm going to the parade.
That's when you had summer school that day.
Yeah? You missed summer school, yeah?
Nah, I left that. Like, I went to the parade in the morning and then I went to summer school after.
Okay, I'm be real. I left the parade too and I went to work after too. I swear.
I was there when the fuck was going off in the mall. Like, I let off shots or something.
Wait, really?
You were in...
Let off shots, like, outside the Eaton Center.
Oh.
And I was in the Eaton Center. I said, where are you right now? Like, the movie World War Z or something like that, where the zombie just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Imagine you're sitting in a food car, families around there having a great time just eating. All you see is one person running, and then you just see a wave of just people just running.
Yeah.
I got the fuck out of there too. Because I see one person, I'm seeing hats flying off, purses getting snatched.
Wait, man, just snatching purses?
Because everyone's running.
Yeah.
So like everyone just on it, and then everyone's like, "Yo, they're shooting."
Oh,
everyone just starts running.
Pure chaos.
Noodles are flying.
You must say noodles. Weaves are flying too.
Whoa.
Soy sauce. Mr. Noodles? Yeah. Like lunchroom, like food fight.
That's crazy.
Everything was just up in the air. Everyone just running, like people pushing.
Because some people are being goofy, thinking it's not a serious moment, and then some people are actually scared for their lives.
Yeah.
I knew someone who was there too, and like it just sounded like a traumatic experience.
It was mad. Like I've seen. That was crazy.
Yeah, you guys. They're saying Toronto's heating back up. We got Shea. He just won the championship.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him. What else is Toronto doing? FIFA's coming to Toronto. When is that? FIFA 26?
Next 2026,
right?
Wait,
and we got.
Has that happened before?
No. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this might be the first time.
Yeah, it's expensive.
So why is this though? Why are they choosing to come now?
There's tourism. It's always about money at the end of the day. Like this is it costs actually more money to host it.
Really?
But yeah, it's a lot of money. It's not a free thing, no.
Oh.
Wait, are we gonna have the space, yo?
Do they profit from it?
Oh, I think they do.
Wait, are they doing it in BMO Stadium or whatever?
No, I think they're building stadiums as well because it's a whole big thing, right? So there's like international tourism.
Okay.
Wow.
So like they're definitely. I don't know if they're turning a profit, but it's just good for the economy.
You see how Taylor Swift like locked down the city and we had no space?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Toronto doesn't have the infrastructure for it.
It's just when you get there, kind of thing. Like I'm pretty sure they'll pivot. They have some adjustments, but I don't think they're worried more about the economy. Like so, it's like I don't know how much they spend. Like close to I would say close to $1 billion, but like around like 400, 500 million.
Wow.
In that like span, they only do it for money, right? So
if you're thinking
why they're doing it, it's always for money.
Yeah.
Tourism, everything is all for the economy.
Yeah, everything's money, right? Yeah, it's crazy.
Question for you. So, Nas or Jim Jones? Who do you think is bigger? It's been like
Jim Jones. Really? Actually, social media wise.
So, like, who do you think is more relevant in like social media right now?
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones?
Yeah, Nas. Where's Nas? Nas got an account? Like you guys see like Nas posts? I never see Nas posts.
I see Jim Jones.
I see Jim Jones with his little bandy legs doing the pull-ups, getting choppy and stuff.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know who Jim Jones is. I only know Nas.
You don't know Nas? Wait, you don't know Jim Jones?
I know Nas, not Jim Jones.
Here's the thing though, he's younger.
Wow, that's interesting.
So he's in his early 20s, and imagine I feel like Nas is more like known than Jim Jones.
I agree
because I've been seeing videos where people are asking who's more known. A lot of people are saying Nas is.
I would say like from the grand scheme, the whole world, Nas.
Yeah, because he's like a legend. He's like, there's Rakim and then there's Nas.
Exactly.
Right? As like a forefather of like hip hop that carried it to a different like echelon, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like Nas is more relevant than Jim Jones. Jim Jones is more of like a fashion icon because he brought a lot of brands like I think he brought Ed Hardy, Chrome Hearts.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna lie, when I was in middle school, I didn't know about these brands, but I seen them.
Ed
Hardy, like I was big in middle school, bro. Like
wasn't it Peli Peli too? That Peli Peli jacket?
Yeah, the Peli.
Yeah.
Those are fire.
Yo,
I like
Peli
those.
Peli jackets are hard.
Yeah, I'd get those. Yo, we should get Peli Peli jackets. How much do you think they cost?
I checked. They're expensive. Like I think like a band or some shit.
Oh hell no.
What do these look like?
Damn,
they're like I don't know how to describe it. They're like leather jackets.
But you know what's so funny? I remember they were so big in Chicago, like around like 2012. Like, you know the Chicago movement? All those Chicago mans were wearing Pelly jackets.
Yeah.
I was Pelly.
I seen Diddy's son wearing it too, and I felt like that's why I seen him wearing it. Yeah.
Or like Avirex too.
Avirex? Who's that?
It's no.
Is that a brand?
It's like it's kind of like the Pelly jackets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like kind of like the same
material.
Same style.
Oh okay. Is Diddy beating the case?
Nah, I think he's getting cooked.
I think he's beating the case.
Yeah, we try not to talk too much about the Diddy stuff because it's mad sticky, you know.
It is sticky. It is sticky. I just wanted to know what you guys thought real quick.
Honestly. Yeah. Like, I don't think he's beating it. But
I think he's beating it.
I do also think that like what they're trying to lock him up for is kind of like bullshit. Like, I think if you're trying to lock him up for like abuse and all these other things, then like
I agree. But
like what they're trying to lock him up for, like racketeering, sex trafficking, like I don't think they have anything.
That's why I think he might beat it because of how heavy the charges are and like what they charge them with.
Yeah, but they seem like they're on like they're really trying to lock him up.
They're trying to get him.
I don't know.
I would say overall he's done some questionable things probably in the last 20 years, but no one can prove it. So it's just like I think he might get off.
Yeah, when you have money, like it's messed up because like they can really pay to hide anything.
Yeah. It's crazy. Do you think money corrupts everyone that gets it? At that level?
Honestly, seeing rich people, like...
Look at them.
They start doing some weird shit.
And they get all crazy.
Because I feel like they get used to the money. Because, like, once you have money, you're like, I could do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Right? But after a point, it's like, when you've done everything that you want, it's like, now you go to the extremes now. Because billionaire fun now, it's just like, hey, let's just rent this, like, mega yacht and just, like, go do nothing. Or do, like... That's why drugs are so apparent. Like when you go to Hollywood and stuff like that, that's all you do over there.
It's like a midlife crisis.
They're trying to escape.
They're trying to escape. So like when you see people that have like a lot of mental health and they're coming out the industry, it's because they were doing this young, and then their minds again weren't fully developed. So when you're on these drugs and stuff like that, people break.
And then having like, let's say you're a kid of someone who was rich, like then it's like you're wondering, why do I even have all this money? How was I born into this? And now I'm seeing like my peers and people my age like go through this and that. Like, what am I doing with all this money? And then it's just seems like they're just blowing it all away to like try to prove something.
So I have a question for everyone because I think this is relevant because I don't know if you guys follow like the 50 Cent situation with his other child where he started getting entitled to be like, yo, you gotta pay for my lifestyle. So let's say, for example, you got it from the ground up, you're making good enough money to be like, hey, I could do whatever I want. But now you have your son or your child and they're like, yo, I'm entitled to your same lifestyle. Like, how would you approach that?
Reminds me of Jackie Chan and his son.
Yeah, Jackie Chan don't give nothing to his son.
Wait, you know what's so funny? This reminds me of a question that we asked in the beginning of our pod: silver spoon or getting out the mud?
Yeah,
that was like one of our original OG questions. So it's like, what would you rather, silver spoon or getting it out the mud?
I'm gonna say getting it out the mud because getting it out the mud is gonna give you the experience and it's gonna humble you and it's gonna ground you when you get the money. Silver spoon, you got the money, but then it's like, I feel like a lot of creative people that do great things, they had like tough experiences. So I like my experiences. Like sometimes I get upset, like, damn, why do I gotta go through all this? But it makes me who I am. It makes me have the drive that I have.
So like, kind of piggyback to his question, like, what if you had a son? Like, what would you rather your son go through?
I feel like your son has to go through tough times, and I just feel like if you baby them too much, they won't develop the skills that you have. So then they'll mess up the money anyways. So I feel like it's a little bit of both, but I'll give him a little grace though, because life is real tough, and having a little helping hand really does us justice sometimes. I've had helping hands in different ways to help my life elevate, so I'd want to help him in certain ways if he made mistakes that kids make, you know. But if he's just entitled and he's not willing to, you know, work hard, can't get my money. Can't get my money.
Because there was actually a situation where like 50 Cent actually like was gonna give his son like a sneaker store to run. So he bought all the inventory from like liquidations and stuff, and he told his son, "Hey, I have all these shoes, and I know that you like shoes. Go sell these shoes. Like create the online market, create a storefront, whatever." The man called him and said, "Yo, I ain't doing none of that."
That's crazy.
Literally said, "I'm not doing none of
that's
that."
Crazy.
Man, like 50 Cent. 50 Cent's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then he just like after that day, and I was just never like the same with him. And I feel like that relationship was torn because it was just like also family dynamics also
yeah.
But again, like you said, like the hard times build character, and it's like you could have everything you want, but a helping hand is important, not like a silver spoon.
Agreed. I actually wanted to. It's funny. I read something about 50 Cent. One of his girlfriends is one of his.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I see that.
Okay.
Which girlfriend?
Not the one that it's in the Diddy case.
No, for sure not.
Oh, the one that asked for $10,000.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The one he apparently bought her a wig. And
you know that was O'Malley's girlfriend, Meek Mill's cousin. You probably don't know.
Really?
I know.
Yeah, that was O'Malley.
I know
yeah, O'Malley used to date Cuban. I think her name's like Cuban.
Doll?
No, her name's like Cuban Doll. It's Cuban. Something Cuban.
Cuban Link.
It's Cuban Link. Yeah.
That's interesting. Dude.
Do the research. O'Malley used to be with her first walking the streets of Philly. But anyways, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But she said she asked 50 Cent. They've been dating for 2 years. For the first time, she asked him for $10,000. And he said no. And she said he's very frugal. And the only thing he ever gave her was a wig that's like worth like $100. And then when they broke up, he said, leave the wig on the table.
I like this.
I said, that's crazy.
And I think he said he did that.
That's crazy.
I think he said he did that.
That's crazy.
I can see him actually doing something like that.
I'm not gonna lie. If I actually had a lot of money, I wouldn't trick, but I would give my girl like business opportunities. Yeah. So I would set her up like, okay, let's say she wanted $20,000 to like invest into some sort of business. Yeah. I would definitely front my girl some money for a business.
So how do you feel about the tricking culture right now?
Would you trick if you got it? It's not tricking unless you got it.
I feel like if it's my girl, it's not tricking.
That's what I'm saying. I'll trick on who doesn't want to spend money on their girl if they got money? Yeah. That's so fun. Imagine you take her out on a nice dinner date, you get her some dresses and you make her look all nice and take some photos. That's a great moment.
That's something every man wants to do.
Yeah, who the hell don't want to do that? I'm tricking a little bit. I'll spend a few thousand if I got it. Yeah. Come top in with me, baby. But yeah.
But that's important though. But do you feel like they're ever like using that kindness?
Oh hell yeah, they'll use you.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if it's a
double-edged
Toronto
sword.
thing.
Double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword. I can tell you that from my experience living in Toronto and doing what I've seen, man get rich.
Yeah. No,
and then you can look at the signs.
They'll use that experience quick. They'll be like,
they'll use that and then
I'm a princess. Give me princess treatment.
And then sometimes I guess draining. Like, yo, did I just pick up a new building?
No, 100%. Let's talk about that though. Let's say you're a regular guy. You're working a job. You're on your come up. You're in your 20s. Yeah. Your girl says, look. This is your girlfriend, whatever. You guys just started dating. Yeah. I need every 2 weeks. Like you gotta pay for my nails. You gotta poke gas in my car.
The girl care.
Girl care.
And you know what's funny? I seen a viral video where like a guy's like getting like they'll spray him. Either he answers if it's princess treatment or if it's just standard what he should be doing. And depending on his answers, he gets sprayed with the water hose. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I would have got wet up because I'm not doing none of this.
They would have dashed a bucket on you.
Oh hell yeah.
So what do you feel about the word? Because I've heard this word recently. I don't know how to feel about this word. Yeah. How do you feel about situational bare minimum?
Explain that. Wait,
what? Dive deeper.
So situational bare minimum I've never heard this word until recently. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like you could be doing well, but it's based on situations basically. So the word itself explains itself. So situational, certain moments that you're doing good, but there's certain moments that you're just doing the bare minimum. But mind you, remember what I said before? If someone's been in more relationships, their standard is just a little bit more high. But hey, if you're going out on dates, you're going out on trips, to me, I find that very hard to understand where situational bare minimum comes into play. Because I feel like I'm doing, mind you, if you work a lot, which most people have to do in Toronto, you work a lot. And then whatever time you have for yourself after, you got to maintain yourself. You got to maintain your social life. You got to maintain whatever. If you're a creative in a business, doing this outside your work. Yeah. And there's on top of that, the weight of just being a man and just being like those days where you have those middle parts where you're just like, yo, am I doing anything? Like, yeah. And you might be doing a lot. Yeah. And then you get told like, yo, and then you go home to your relationship. Yeah. And you're like, yo, like, I feel like you're not showing up. Yeah, because I'm tired, man. Yeah. I'm tired. Yeah. And then someone saying, like, situational bare minimum. To me, I feel like that's like a slap in the face because I wouldn't be with you if I'm doing the bare minimum. Yeah. But if I'm going above and beyond, I just didn't know how to feel about that. Yeah. Obviously, I try to be like, yo, you know what? I'll try to do better. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like you're doing your best. And if you're comparison, obviously, comparison is a thief of joy. Yeah. But a lot of men aren't doing what I'm doing. I'll be real, right? Yeah. So how do you feel about like kind of your efforts and someone being like, yo, you know what, Tashay, you're not doing enough.
Sorry, Tashay, but you're good. Yeah. But see, that's crazy because like it all depends. If you stay in a position of not being able to do things for your girlfriend, she's definitely gonna draw some sort of resentment. But like if it's situational, you know, you're tired because in Toronto you have to work a lot. As men, we're building up our legacies, so they gotta understand those transitional periods and believe that we'll get there one day, right? But it all depends, I guess. It's me personally. I don't want someone to just leave me for like 1 month. We just didn't go on no dates. Yeah. Like no, like you gotta be with me. Communicate, like we said, communication is the best thing.
You know, he actually said something that I feel like answers the question. You need somebody that gives you grace.
I agree.
Yeah,
you know what I think that's the best way to sum it up. Yeah, grace. Yeah,
grace is very important. Somebody that understands your situation, your circumstance, right? Like,
yeah.
You know, sometimes you're gonna be on the very high, like the up and up. And
I have a scenario for this.
Dates and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then there's situations where it's like, yo, like you just don't got it right now.
Yeah.
The love's still there. It's just the situation doesn't reflect how you like. You know, the love.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's a good way to sum it up.
I have a scenario for this. Have you seen these? There's this one TikTok where the girl has like this paper, right?
Yeah.
And she asks someone for money. Now it's either her dad or her boyfriend. So how she gets the money is the goal, right? Okay, so for her dad, she draws a line. She asks for money. Her dad says, how much? And then she draws a line again. And then her dad says, come get the money. Easy, right? But then for the boyfriend, she draws a line. He says, how much? And then she tells him this amount. And he's like, why? Why do you need this much money? And then you keep going down the line. For a boyfriend, it's going all the way around, in and out, trying to figure out why she needs money, how much for, how does this, like, live up our life? Like, what is the reason? And is it really necessary? That's what a boyfriend would do. How do you feel about, like, does that add up to, what was the name called again? Situational, bare minimum. Like, does it feel the same like that? Because women comparing like the boyfriend to the dad, like so a dad type boyfriend.
A lot of them don't. But you ask those questions before?
What?
Like, was your dad in your life? You ever ask a girl that?
I do. I
kind of just bring it up,
or do you just wait till it comes up?
Yeah. I wait till it comes up.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
It's kind of hard. It's like, yo, like after this, like, yo, is your dad in your life?
I'm not gonna lie. Mans, don't judge. One time I was in the club with this one girl, and I was a little, lit, and I think we got like I was lit. I was lit, but she was in the section with my friend, so I felt comfortable to just talk to this girl, you know. So I'm just talking to her, and I'm like, yeah, like. How's your, like, I think I brought that up or something. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
She probably looked at you like.
Oh, she looked at me crazy. We still talked after, but she looked at me crazy like, this guy is lit.
Yeah. Honestly, like, sometimes I feel like when you're in the club, like, there's really not really a judgment zone. Like, depending on, you're in a section, right? So it might not even be that serious.
Yeah, I don't think it was, because, hey, we're all just having a fun time. Yeah. Why not ask random questions? I'd be asking people random questions, but that was too random and too straightforward. Yeah, I admit that. But yeah, I feel
like everything has to be strategic with how you ask questions.
I agree.
Especially with women.
Yeah, because you ever say the wrong thing, you're like, damn, why did I word it like that? Yeah, I hate those ones. You can't even resend or edit it.
I'd be like, why did I even ask it?
Exactly.
What came up for me?
Yeah.
I did want to ask you a question. So the whole B Simone situation.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel?
First question.
Huh?
You didn't ask him the last question.
Yeah.
That's the last question. How would you deal with a girl like that?
That basically like the
treats her boyfriend like a dad type thing.
Oh, that's a good question. I would say you're not for me. You're not for me. Like, I don't want like to necessarily baby you. Yeah, I want an independent person that I will look to help and assist with anything they need. But it's like I can't baby you just because your dad babied you. And I feel like sometimes women they try to use that as the goalpost. You know, like I feel like the goalpost is what we develop and what we establish once we first meet each other. But like I think we should both be individual beings that can coexist by themselves and then come together later.
Okay.
And then especially
or exist by themselves and then coexist later.
Especially if it's a scenario where like she has a rich dad already.
Yeah.
And then like you're trying to live up to the expectations.
Yeah, like that's gonna lead. You're gonna set yourself up for failure. She's gonna be expecting too much. She doesn't have any independence.
I always say don't bite more than you can chew.
And I think you need to also know your limits because as you said, like that's just not for me, right?
Exactly.
I know people that would just be like, yo, but maybe down the line. You're gonna drain yourself. You're gonna drain a lot of things. Your bank account's one of them.
But if she's bad, then you gotta do it.
Yo, it's funny. Have you ever seen a girl you just know like she's out of my price range right now? Like she's too expensive for me.
I see them all the time. They're online. But then when you get up close, they're not even living like that. Yeah. That's the next thing.
It's all for the camera.
Misconception. When you're actually there, you know, like, yo, the things that you can post, they're kind of excessive.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not that hard.
That's what I'm saying. I'll give you guys some game, though. You got to be best friends with these girls. Yeah. And then from there, you will see everything.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think people don't know that, like, not everything has to be a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
Very important. Yeah. That is very important. I have a lot of platonic relationships, and I invite these girls out to events. I don't want nothing with them. I don't want no complications. I want you to come out. You can meet my friend groups, and you guys can mingle. Yeah. But I'm just the
facilitator.
You know, that's a hard thing to learn as a young man, because like how you said earlier about like having a void, trying to fill a void with like being with a woman. Yeah. Like as a young man, like you're always trying to fill that void because you don't understand that you don't necessarily like need that.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. That's
so
true.
like having platonic friendships with girls, like sometimes you get it confused.
That's true. When I was early 20, I didn't understand it as well as I do now. Yeah. So I think men will, grow and learn.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, back to the whole B. Simone situation. I was gonna ask you. How do you feel about that?
The B. Simone situation?
Yeah.
Hold on. Explain who's B. Simone.
B. Simone, she's a social media influencer, I would say.
Yeah.
Did she make music?
No. Nah, but she's more of like a comedian.
Personality.
She was on like Wildin'.
Yeah, she was on Wildin' Out. She made a big name for herself on Wildin' Out.
Oh, is it the red hair?
No. She's like light skin.
It's like baby girl.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He'll pull it up. But basically the way I feel about the B. Simone situation, I'm not gonna knock a woman for having her expectations. If you don't want a guy that's a 9-to-5 guy, you can feel that way. Yeah. But to get on a podcast, start breaking down about financials. This doesn't even that's so ironic to me. It's just like what? Mm-hmm. Why would you break down on social media about your finances when you were like basically what's the word? Excluding guys that were potentials for you just because they're 9-to-5s.
People don't know 9-to-5 make good money.
And that's the next thing. Like I just feel like the way she was like so cutthroat with that is like, why should we care about your financial situation now that you can't shop at wherever it was? But it just
she said
silly
H&M,
to
and
me.
I was just like, yo, H&M ain't even that bad.
Yeah, H&M. I shop at H&M.
Shop at H&M?
No, she's like, I have to go to H&M now, and I was like, maybe that's just like.
I think she did this shit for content.
I think so.
I think that was content and a little bit of just emotions, but content mainly.
I think like I don't know with what she was saying. Like I see where she was going with it, but like she just didn't execute the message like properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think her whole thing is like she wants somebody that has a similar lifestyle as her, but it's like don't do that and also bash the 9-to-5 guy.
I agree. Yeah. I agree.
I mean? And then with her current situation now, I was like, I feel like she didn't respect her money.
Yeah.
Right? And like. Yeah. You gotta like now like basically just like she's saying that she has to budget more, and I'm like, yo, like if you put yourself in a good situation to start off with, you would never be in here, like
100%.
And I think I was watching a lot of like rich people putting their input on it, and they're saying basically it's like, yo, when you get all this money, it's very hard to like have money management because we have this idea that it's always gonna come.
Yeah,
it's not gonna ever run out, but that's not reality, right?
Yeah.
Today's bag is not tomorrow's bag.
I agree. And I just also feel like people should never get ahead of themselves when they have money because it can always go. Yeah. One lawsuit, one bad business investment.
But like,
you gotta be very careful.
Seeing rich people ask like, what should they do with their money? It irks me because like my immediate thought is like, help the community.
Yeah.
Do you see what T.I. is doing? He's like building up affordable housing.
Wow. That's sick.
Lit.
Wow, that's sick.
That's what you should be doing when you're rich. Like, I feel like that's the goal.
Like helping people, right?
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like you should help people and you should also set your family up for generations and you should do both, I feel like the world's to explore and give back at the end of the day. We're out here just trying to help each other.
I feel like my goal would be to build a community center. Like a community center for Black people, but welcoming to anyone.
Yeah.
And just let it be known, like, put our culture all over the place in the community center. Let that place be for Black people. Yeah. Whether it's here in Canada or in the States. I don't know.
See, the problem is with initiatives, they all cost a lot of money. And I feel like there's always a money agenda when it comes to initiatives. And unfortunately, even the corporations, they do good, right? But they do so much things to tear down the communities in a sense, and then they do the good to kind of offset certain costs and stuff. So it's like it's always a scheme, and it's like it's hard to do genuine things, even as creators sometimes, because they'll pair up with certain companies and certain
everything's
figures,
beneficial,
and it's all about transactions. So it's hard. Sometimes you'll think like you're doing such a good deed, and it's like, oh no, the trustee or the person that's organizing it for you has a different agenda. So it's like you got to really figure out how to be hands-on in your missions, because people always have their hand in the pot.
So I did want to ask you a question. So as a podcast owner, how does it feel to be in the seat being interviewed?
That's a good question. I feel like it's kind of fun. I feel like it's cool because you guys get it too. You get the mission. You guys get the journey. So it's kind of flattering, honestly.
Does it feel like being in the backseat of your own car?
Kind of, yeah, kind of. But I'm comfortable here, though. You guys are good. You guys make good conversations, good vibes. So I feel comfortable. I think that's one of the main things that most podcasts should aim for, and you guys are doing that. So
like our goal is always to like have it be like obviously like structured, but also like a kickback. Like we want to have it feel like you left like going something, like leaving like a bare weight off your body. Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I like that.
We want you to leave with the feeling of maybe it gets better.
Yeah. Maybe come on, yo, shut up, branding.
But yo, we have more time. We have more time, right?
Yeah.
Let's ask you some questions from the special Pandora's box. So we're just gonna have you shake this up, and then pull out a question and read it up.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
We don't know what's in there, to be honest.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. It's random.
Super
I
random.
like this. Nice. So you guys are being creative. Yeah, you guys are gonna go for it, yo. Okay. So I could choose anyone. Cool that voice. Yeah. I hope so. Okay. How do you think the internet and social media have contributed to the spread of conspiracy theories?
See, it's so fucked up because this box always gets like we talk about certain things in media, and obviously,
and it gets
you pick a question.
It's creepy, honestly. It's like your phone listening to you.
Yeah.
And putting up your Google sheets. Read it one more time, though.
How do you think the internet and social media have contributed to the spread of conspiracy theories?
Yo, you know what? I think I have a point to make. I feel like with AI right now, there's a lot of misinformation and theories going out there right now that's just like making things very weird and hard to kind of like fact check.
I agree. It's so scary. You'll be on TikTok and it's like someone has a whole narrative and you're like, wait, is this true? And then you go to the comments and like, yeah, it's not true. Look at that. It's AI. Yeah. That's scary, yo. We're in scary times where like manipulation is at an all-time high. I'm scared. I don't know what's out there. Even ChatGPT, sometimes like I put yourself in ChatGPT and I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Yeah. And ChatGPT is like, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. Oh. So you would have had me thinking this was real? Yo, it's crazy out here in these streets.
You're supposed to be the smart computer.
You're supposed to be the smart computer. They're making mistakes. Yo, do you think they're tracking all that information, bro?
Yeah.
I be telling it too much shit.
I think everything.
I told her all about my relationship. It was crazy. One night, I was vulnerable. Don't judge me. I didn't have no one to call. Yeah. Don't judge me.
You had a response to you in the voice?
Great, better responses than my therapist. I swear. He broke it down in such a way that I understood. It was only me and him.
Is therapy losing its
therapy, it's over. I don't need you no more.
Yeah. Like art though. It's like a special thing.
It's still
You can find something like that gives you that. Because I was gonna
pieces
ask you
of it. Yeah.
You want a real person.
Of course.
Without deviating from conspiracy theories, but like just ideas in general, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel like mentorship plays in your life?
That's a good one because I actually have a mentor. He's not. He's not like defined as that. He's just my friend that's older than me. But he has a lot of like good things going for himself, and he's so humble. Yeah, he's rich actually. You guys know Rich. Yeah. So I look at Rich as that for me because like when what's crazy? I'm gonna tell you guys here. I never said this. I don't think on any platform yet. Maybe Players Play, but I don't remember. But in 2022, I first met Rich because I had a friend that I used to go to high school with, and he was a screen printer, and they were in business together. So I went over to the shop, Gallery 223. And this was pre-Players Play, didn't have a name. I just had that little clubhouse buzz, and I was doing like questions on my stories. Yeah, I told them I'm gonna start a podcast, and he's seen it come to life. No, not the vision. Well, maybe he did, but he seen it manifested. Yeah, and I spoke it into his studio, Gallery 223. So from there, he just helped me along the way. He got me sponsors. Yeah, he just wanted to help me, and like to this day, he's just been a great person to me. And I think mentorship is amazing. You need it. It's always good to hear from someone who has experience over you.
Yeah, most definitely.
They can guide you. They got years. They can kind of like, shorten your mistakes or lessen your mistakes, I should say.
You know, I look at it as like, name me this mistake so you don't have to.
Exactly. So like, there's times I was trying to make merch. He's like, don't make merch like that. It ain't gonna sell. I sold hella shirts. I'm like, all right. Like sometimes we don't agree though, but I
but
like
you need that though.
Yeah, I like his perspective. It's good banter.
Yeah.
Well, you need it though. I think everyone should get mentorship or like find someone that inspires you. You know, you need that one person in your group that inspires you. You know.
Yeah, and like for me, like I always try to be that person to like motivate like people around me to like push to like their full potential, because it's like, yo, when I see somebody doing stuff and I'm like, yo, I definitely can see you doing it on a bigger like platform, bigger magnitude. And you not living up to it. It's like I feel bad. Like I genuinely feel bad. Like I like seeing my friends do like great things, right? Like
me too.
Delux, like I love seeing this guy do like. Yo, you're on like a movie screen, right, for your documentary.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I was on Paradise Theaters on Bloor.
How did that happen?
So I started. You know what's so funny? Like when I was saying about digital media, I think I took it seriously like a year ago, but I started getting. I did my own documentary. I called it "You Can't Heal What You Don't Reveal," and it really followed youth's experience in the justice system. So I'm studying psychotherapy. I'm taking clients on September, but. Yeah. That's kind of one of the things that I had a specialty in, was like I was able to talk to people about tough experiences because I've been myself through the justice system. Yeah. So I never seen a documentary like, and mind you, I have no film experience. I don't even have a camera. Wow. I had an idea and I was able to get like a budget of $1,000 from a company. Yeah. And I kid you not, that was one of the best experiences, and I was able to kind of like leverage that, kind of like gave someone the ability to use kind of like the same storyline. Yeah. And I worked on the pitch with them, and they won a pitch contest, and then they've like a $7,000 budget for like the filming of it. Yeah. So I was able to bring back some of the guys that originally were on that first documentary onto this one. Wow. And I worked with like POV, which is like a youth film school. Yeah. Did that. It was a long process. That's why I have so much respect for people that are like front runners or doing stuff, because boy, I know when that phone rings, it rings. And all the things that come with that phone call ring is that you have to be on the ball with that. So we're able to do that. They played it at their graduation on a big screen. That was my goal, and I actually got it done in less than a year. Yeah. And then we have other film deals and other partnerships. Like that's even just bringing something from the ground up, like. People think it's easy, like, oh, you do it for the glitz. Trust me, I wasn't in it for the glitz and glamour. Like, it's actually more work than it is. Yeah. There's days where you don't even make any money on it. Yeah. Like, and there's days where, like, you're up at night thinking, like, yo, I'm so nervous for the day of it. Mm-hmm. But you just got to go out there. And that's why I always tell people, it's like, they're like, oh, I need to get this perfect. I'm like, yo, you're shooting yourself in the foot, to be honest with you, because nothing's ever going to be perfect. That documentary we first did was not perfect at all. The audio was kind of messed up, but I still put it out there, and we still did pretty good on a fresh like YouTube channel. We got a couple thousand like views, like about 20,000 plus on Instagram. And that's just and I'm not a big social media guy. I just built an audience, and they like what I do, and then people that hold my name in high regard, they're able to send that out and everything. So whenever I go out, they're like, yo, you did that, you did this. I'm like, yeah, I did that. And then for me, I was just like, I never looked at it as like, you know what, I did that like as like a thing. It's like, I have my moments where I'm talking with friends, I'm shooting the breeze, and we're just like, we go at each other's like different films and stuff. But that's the whole process of getting in this film. I'm not an actor by trade. I just did acting for non-majors in university. And I just started with a vision, an idea, right? Like just how Player Play started. That's how Maybe It Gets Better started. Yeah. We had some things called like Finding Your Heart, was a community organization we built from the ground up with other youth. Mm-hmm. A lot of these things is like when you're an architect, you have to be proud of the process because no one can take that away from you. No one could take away your media skills. No one could take away Players Play, because if anything, you could just make another one. Right? Because that's the knowledge that we're trying to say, is that no one could take that away from you. No one can take away your relationship to your mentor. If your mentor were to ever leave and stuff like that, you have that advice. No one can take that. It's like a degree. You can't take my knowledge away.
That's deep.
But you see that goes, and I love having conversations like this. I love seeing it because it's like, yo, this is somebody who's living up to their full potential. Even when you do background acting and hearing about your stories and stuff, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I love seeing that from my friends, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
I have a question for you guys then. So what do you feel like is your superpower? It could be great communication skills. What's something that you know you were blessed with in this world?
Damn, I got to clip that one. So that's a good question.
I could answer it. I'll start if you guys want. For me, I would say it's the ability to bring people together.
Damn, I was gonna say that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, both
he has that ability.
Both can be true.
That's why I even start. That's one of the reasons why I started this, because I know so much people like that are doing great things, and I want to have a platform so I can showcase that. Like, before this, I had like a YouTube channel where like me and my friends would just be at Humber College, just discussing about random stuff, and they were just showcasing their personalities and having great conversations and just having great experiences. Like, that's what I love the most about even doing YouTube. And then COVID happened, and then it was like a reset. But even this is just like reigniting that passion.
That's sick. I like that. You guys gotta go.
I would say mine would be like adaptability. Like, I'm always someone who wants to change. Like, even if it's a change that I actually don't want to do, I'm still going to do it because I don't know. That's just me. I have to do it.
Yeah.
I have to make sure I do the change. Otherwise, I'm not living. It feels like.
Yeah.
You know.
What about you, Delux?
I feel like I love the process, and there's also moments where I hate the process at the same time.
Love
That's how you know I like the process, because it always comes with different things, right? It's like building stuff from the ground up, because when I have an idea, for me, it's just not like something that's just idly in my brain. It expands. Like I start with one thing, and I'm like, okay, I want to get more into digital media. How do I do that? Okay, so podcast is one of them. Getting into my own content as well as another one. Connecting with other creators is another one. Like, getting into film is another one. Connecting with people in film to do other things in film. Doing screenwrites, doing like also pitches and other things to build other people up. That's how I really and truly I started going farther, is because I seen people that were doing their thing, but I noticed that one of their flaws was that they weren't selling it properly. So I would say I'm a businessman. I think that would be my superpower. It's like I could see the business plays. I could be like, hey, you know what? Like, you have this idea, but you're selling yourself really short. Come work with me. Come incubate with the stuff that I'm doing, and I promise you it's gonna work. And we started doing so much in art now. We started doing, and I never thought of myself as an artist. Because I always thought like, oh, you had to be able to paint the picture. But I could give you the idea and vision of how to paint that picture. That doesn't take away from my artistry at the end of the day. So once I started owning that and owning the business side of it, and owning like my own complexities of my personality, and I was able to bring all of that without kind of like hiding myself. That was my superpower, and that was why I started elevating like gradually, and then started like taking leaps and stuff like that. It's like you got to take it one step at a time. And I always told people I was going to do the podcast, I was going to do the community stuff, I was going to do all these things. But they were like, oh, you never started in 3 years. Yeah, because I was creating a framework for it. When I got into it, they're like, yo, how'd you get into this? How'd you get into it? Because I took the 3 years to figure that out. And this actually, I started doing some mock podcasting in COVID time too. And it was so hard because I used to like cover my mouth. And I used to just do this, and it was just like getting to like the mannerisms of it, like eye contact, looking at the camera, all these things. You can't teach that. You gotta experience that.
It's very true. Said that very because it's like, I remember when we first started this. Like, I was talking to our co-host Ronto. And like, he was in, I think, Vegas around the time that we're talking about doing content creating. He's like how he wanted to do a podcast too, and I think prior to that, me and Delux were talking like you want to do media stuff. So just having him say that, Ronto, and him being an editor, it was just like, all right, like I have all these pieces here. Like, why don't we all come together and make it happen, right? And he had like, it literally was like one of those situations like it was meant to happen because everybody fit a role prior to us coming together that made it make sense. You know what I mean? So it was the beauty of us coming together that like started this. Right? But I did want to ask you, why do you feel like bringing people together is your superpower?
That's a good question. I would say it kind of goes back to my childhood, kind of like what I was mentioning to you guys before. Is just I like to be around people. I like company. Maybe it's to fill my own void. Sometimes I feel like
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, like I feel like sometimes like I may have like ADHD. I don't know if I do, but I just have
undiagnosed.
Maybe undiagnosed, but I just feel like I never stop thinking. I can't just sit still, and I'm learning now too. Like the last 2 days, I've actually just been in the house after work. I just try not to do nothing. Like I don't want no one to pull me this direction. I just try to stay home. But just to answer the question, I think just my upbringing, being around so many different characters in my household. Because like I grew up in a neighborhood where like, you know, my mom, she had her own little things she would battle, but she had like interesting people around us at all times. And I just think that gave me the ability to be around anyone and feel comfortable around anyone, and then also have them feel comfortable around me.
You know what's so funny about us having the same superpower? Like, I see something like Kai Cenat, where, you know, he started off by himself or with AMP eventually, right? But him now, where he's at right now, he's bringing all these different people into the mix, and it's like, yo, we're getting all these different voices and showcasing all these different energies, like Ray, Reggie, and it's like imagine Kai or I think like that young boy Roy. I forgot his name. Kai.
No, Rakai.
Rakai. Yeah. It's just crazy, and that's like the beauty of bringing people together. Because imagine if Kai didn't do all that, like you wouldn't know about Rakai or Reggie or Ray.
I love that. You see how Ray and Kai met? Yeah. Like that's some shit. Like if I was like traveling,
super random.
I would do that. Like
it's so
Ray
random.
just stepped up to him and was like, "I'm a big fan."
But that's an amazing story, and I love stories.
Yeah.
I love stories.
Storylines is crazy.
Yeah. I love stories, and I like unexpected things happening, spontaneous things happening. So like for me, that would be amazing. Like if I was like Kai and like I was like I had my own brand, and then I just like I'm doing my like daily vlogs, and I just meet someone super cool, and then I build them up a character.
And then that's they did like the whole movie Rush Hour kind of type.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
A lot of things came out of that one interaction. That's one of the beauties of life.
Bringing people together, right? Yeah, no, and that's why.
Even if people around you are questioning it, like, because Duke was questioning, like, why you bring this guy around, like Ray, like, who is this?
Yeah, and look at it now. They're all gelling pretty well. Yeah. And you know, that's like even why we do like we do blind dates, and we do like all these different type of segments to bring people together. Of course, we get content out of it, but it's mostly we can get into that. Yeah. It's crazy because we can get into that. Basically, I don't know if you guys obviously know.
No, we did a reaction video.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? I seen that. I seen the clip of that. I was dying.
I gotta ask.
Talk to me.
Why did a man say he gripped the body weird?
That was my boy Malcolm. I seen the clip. I was actually convinced. Yeah, I'm like, nah, this is his girl. Like, I actually thought it was his girl because I didn't know nothing. Like my ex at the time put it all together. So yeah. I had no knowledge.
So why was
I didn't even message. Me and him never had any.
Why was your homie like trying to get him out the game though?
I don't know. Yo, my homie, he was doing. And you know what? If we do that again, we have to change the format. I don't think it should be so like we should it should be a little bit more harder for us to guess because he was like Malcolm wasn't trying to. I wish you won though. That would have been cool.
We were.
I thought you guys were gonna win.
So just for context for the viewers, basically so it was a game show, right? Guess the real couple, right? And that was my first time meeting you. Yeah. And that was my first time meeting the shorty, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to her. Our chemistry was like on par. Like,
it actually was. Yeah, it actually was.
But so like this is an interaction. Like we before we even before we even got there, we exchanged information and stuff. So we're on the same page.
Yeah, I want to know about this. See, I didn't know about that. Oh, okay, so wait, did you guys you guys had a phone call and everything?
No. So what happened was that your girl or your ex at the time, she showed me who I was matching with, and then after that, like we just ran through like getting to know each other and asking questions.
That's pretty
and stuff.
sick. Wow, I didn't know you guys had that interaction.
And then we got there, I think, kind of early, just to kind of go over things. How
was that experience for you? Were you nervous and like were you like, okay, this is my shorty for the day. Like I gotta make this believable.
Yeah, y'all look cute together.
You guys did look pretty cute together. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all looked pretty cute together. And like the body grab to me was official. I thought it was official. I'm just gonna be real. But hey man, we'll let the viewers decide.
You guys gonna get me in trouble.
We have a reaction video, so if you want to check that out, just
check that out.
I wonder if we could get her on the pod.
Yo, you guys should get her on the why don't you get her on the pod? That would be fun.
We really need to know how was it.
In here too.
That's a long story, but no. No.
Mental health month. We take time over here.
Yes, sir. Just to answer your question about just how that.
And rate the experience 1 to 10 too.
No, so it was like obviously I'm a man. Like I have my experience with women. I know how to deal with women. So it was just basically just being attentive to her and listening to like who she really was as a person. And we had a lot of things in common, right? So I think like when you guys were asking certain questions, we kind of just like I guess we were on the same page with a lot of things. So I guess you asked the question about like favorite restaurant.
Yeah,
I just
remember
mentioned
that.
like Scatterbush.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, wow, how did he get that? I remember.
When you guys asked the question, it was just like, all right, like if you don't say this, like you're dropping the ball.
Yeah.
So she knew what time it was. We were on the same type of time.
Yeah, you were, bro. I was
she was mad cool and stuff, but the body grab, that's what everybody wants to hear. Yo,
I
was gonna flame for that. Flame for that. Man, I was like, yo, why you grab the body like that? I'm like, brother, like,
I'm not gonna lie. If I was on the game show, I would have. You gotta sell it.
But no,
I was sold, but I'm just saying for the viewers.
What got me though? So you know how like before we started recording, you guys we took shots.
Yeah.
I think I took like a little bit too much.
Yeah. We were getting a little lit. We got a little lit.
I took a little bit too much. So like I'm not even gonna lie. Like even when I tried to do the body grab, it was just like I felt like I was overselling it.
Yeah.
So like
I gotta watch that clip back.
Yeah. That was hilarious. That was a good clip.
That was funny. That was viral. That clip did well too. That clip did well. So yeah.
Nah, yo, my sister's like, yo, so why you letting them do that to you? Why you making them grab them? My aunt was like, yo, why you grabbing them?
That's the worst is when family gets involved.
I have a story about that.
I didn't even know your aunt saw that.
No, like, fam, you know our Uncle Steve is always on TikTok and stuff, right?
Bro, you guys think that's bad? I got something worse to tell you guys, bro.
No, I see be seeing some of the clips that you be on.
Bruh,
so.
Imagine, my dad just paged me. You remember, I told you where he's from. Like, he's a good guy though, but he's just like, recently he's like, why are you telling people you peed in your drawer? Like, why would you post that?
You're one of those kids?
Oh, no.
You're one of those kids?
Wait. The clip is crazy. Basically, look, man. Yeah, so, basically, no, I was telling a story about a time where I was, like, super drunk, and basically, what happened? Basically, I was with a female, and, basically, I didn't go to the washroom to go pee. Apparently, I peed in my drawer. Honestly, I wasn't even conscious of this. When I told the story, I was kind of, like, just, like, it was my ex, too. It wasn't even, like, a random female. So, like, it wasn't like I was, like, just doing weird shit. But, no, like, I was doing weird shit, technically, because the whole peeing in the drawer.
But you're not afraid that your aura is going to go down?
Now, when you're drunk, you don't care.
Yeah, I didn't care.
And this is just for visual, like, this is a full drawer. Like, there's clothes in there.
There was no clothes in there.
Okay.
Yeah, there was no clothes in that drawer.
Airbnb or something?
Nah. So, I was actually doing laundry, so I didn't have nothing in there. And to be honest, when I woke up, there wasn't even nothing in there. Like, it was kind of exaggerated a little bit.
This is
like,
so
it wasn't
funny.
even, it wasn't that crazy. Like, it wasn't like a whole drawer full of piss and like, like that's kind of crazy. But
this
no,
is so funny because I seen a picture the other day of this kid who's crying on his bed because his mom's paging him.
I see that
and the drawer open full of.
I used to be the bed too, so it goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. Yeah, I used to get bus asses too for it. It was crazy. And I'm getting beaten in the bed or in the water while I'm getting the cold water on me. Everything. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yo, I didn't tell you about this. Yo, backhand one time. I'm like, damn, bro. But anyways, I be getting paged for some of the stuff I post. So I just told I blocked him after that. I blocked my dad. He ain't following me. Don't worry about my content. Don't worry about my content, man. Don't worry about me, man. Yeah, most of that post, man. I live my life, man. But no, the whole piece, there was a little exaggerated. It wasn't even that crazy to be super, super real. It was more like a little bit of pee in there when I woke up, but it didn't even smell like pee. I just Lysol'd it. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was crazy. To be honest, like I said, I was lit. I don't even remember doing it. It was my girl told me I did it. She's like, yo, you were just so lit that like I think you peed in. She said I think you peed in the drawer. I'm
so
like,
you don't even know if you.
We don't even know. It's not confirmed, bro. It's
honestly,
not confirmed. I don't even think I really did. To be honest.
Being lit, like a lot of people have worse stories.
That's what I'm saying. There's way worse stories. That's what I'm saying. There's worse, man. You gotta give me a blind on that one. But it was.
I don't want to get into my stories.
We gotta get into it. Come on, I just shared.
All right.
It's a safe place.
What's your worst story?
Maybe it gets better.
The one story I can think about, I almost fell off a boat. Yeah.
No way.
So I drank too much. I drank like Fort Loco, Casamigos, and I think I was getting like Tito's. And this was like.
Is this all dark?
No,
all dark liquor?
No.
I don't know what I was drinking.
Huh?
You can swim?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. But this was like 2 years ago. One of my homegirls, she was having a boat party. Like,
so invite me next time.
I don't even. No, I got you. But I don't even know if anybody be throwing boat parties like that. But if I got one, I'm gonna holler at you still.
Cause I know you know how to party, bro. I be seeing you outside. I'm just joking. You don't be outside.
But yeah, nah. So I just got too drunk. Yo, there was like another boat that docked. I almost fell off our boat onto that one. Mans are looking at me like, yo, you need to chill. And I'm a big guy, so when mans are telling me to chill, like, yo, they're holding on to me. I'm like
so we don't got the deposit back
who's this guy trying to like, control me?
This guy's about to pick people up and shit.
Brody, I'm here holding on to like, like the I think there's like a railing and stuff. Mans are telling me don't hold on to it. Pull it off and broke it. So yeah, long story short, after all that was done, my homie he got an Airbnb. I mean, no, sorry, not Airbnb, Uber for me, right? It was going home and it was like rush hour and I really needed to pee, right? So there was like we stopped and there was like a dog park.
Yeah.
Bro, live broad daylight. I hopped out the whip. I told the Uber driver like, hold on, I'll be right back. Hopped out the whip, went to like a bush and there was bare people walking around that just peed.
They just seen the things?
No,
Pause. Why for that? No, I'm just saying though, I'm not trying to picture that.
But imagine like
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Imagine, Brody, like it was so. Nobody seemed like me. But it's one of those ones like, yo, bro, it literally hopped out the Uber.
Just broad daylight.
There's people walking around, dogs barking.
People are seeing the door open of the car to you.
Why do both of our stories have pee in it though? Like, is it because I mentioned mine? Is that what triggered it?
I think, that's kind of what triggered it. But also that literally the whole day was just madness.
Yeah.
Like I was just like the drunkest I've ever been at that point in my life.
Yeah, me too. I was lit that day.
Crazy.
I don't get like that no more, by the way. But
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
If you see me out, just say hi.
So like I said, this is a mental health podcast for people that don't know.
Yeah.
We talk a lot of bullshit, but we do talk about a lot of real shit, right? So with that being said, like, how's your mental health?
I think my mental health progresses each day. I take it day by day.
Yeah.
I try not to think too deep into the future anymore. I try to just focus at my task at hand.
Stay in the moment.
I try to stay in the moment. And like what I learned about life is like sometimes we often chase money because money is important. But like if you actually just try to train your mindset and you put all your care into your mindset, you actually attract more money. So I think I just focus on my daily routine now. Do like 200 push-ups a day. I take my supplements like vitamins and black seed oil. I try to eat breakfast, more protein, stuff like that. Go to work and just chill, like and just kind of like plan out my next moves. Map them out, write things down. I journaled the other day, and stuff like that. Like anytime I have thoughts, I try to write them down. I just try to be self-reflective in my own mind each day and just talk to good people. And I think that's what keeps me grounded right now. So my mental health is pretty good. I would say right now at least.
That's like kind of the thing that we talked about a few episodes ago, where like if you take care of your mental health, or if you take care of your physical health, you're also taking care of your mental health.
True.
Like they go hand in hand.
True.
Yeah.
Last week I was fucked up though, but yeah, I'm good now.
You want to talk about it?
Nah.
All right.
I feel like that sometimes, some things you want to share, some things you don't.
Like I would share it, but like I always tell myself I have to keep some things just under the wraps. Until I blow up one day, hopefully.
Certain things are personal.
Yeah.
But I did want to ask, what do you think the common misconception of mental health is for men?
That's a good question. I would say that men aren't vulnerable. I think that's like a misconception.
Okay.
Like as in like for instance, my dad, he doesn't have no vulnerability to him. There's no crying. There's no like he would laugh if like someone tells you they're crying or like something like that. Yeah. So I feel like the misconception.
Like, oh, yeah, cry for.
Yeah, like what do you mean? You're crying? Man, get up and work. Go and like my dad goes through so much, and I seen him go through so much. He can lose his car, he can lose his job. Nothing will break that man. Yeah. I swear I've not seen this guy break. So I think the misconception is like, I think he is the misconception because I think deep down he has to be vulnerable. There has to be a vulnerability, but he's not. He doesn't show it. So I think people don't show their vulnerable side. It's kind of the misconception, I guess. As men, we're not supposed to show our vulnerable side.
I think I don't know. Like I've always been on the fence about that because I feel like you do want to set an example of being strong, but also like being vulnerable to some degree is important. You don't want to have, have a representation of just not being vulnerable, and then you develop somebody that's very hyper masculine. You know what I mean? And like toxic masculinity is very, it's a big thing now, right? And I think having that balance of being masculine and also being like empathetic and open and vulnerable is important. And I think our generation is starting to like push that more. The older generation is just always fixated on just not showing that. But it definitely is difficult to get.
And so, are you saying that, like, him not being vulnerable, does that affect your level of vulnerability?
Yes, because I grew up with my mom. I live with my stepmom now, but I grew up with my mom who, you know, suffered from a lot of different things, and she was very emotional, very... It's funny because this question, she's into a lot of the conspiracy theories and stuff like that, and I've seen how her mind has gone in a lot of different directions these last years, and living with her for the last, like, 12 years, I think I lived with her for, and then I moved around, but I don't know, she made me more emotional, I would say, as a man.
Yeah.
But then when I go around my dad later in my life, it's like he's just super.
But you need that balance, though.
You do, but I just feel like I didn't live with him, I have been living with him for a while now, but I guess I'm now learning the balance now. Like I'm now taking on traits of like him, which is just like, it's not that bad. Because my mom was a pessimistic kind of person more. He's more just logical. Yeah. So I'm now taking on his traits, but it's your first 7 years are the most influential, and you're already stuck in that foundation. Exactly. So it takes a lot of years to reprogram.
You know, imagine all that trauma that you go through in that first 7 years of life.
Yeah, I'm dealing with it now. I'm dealing with it now.
Life. This is
bro,
crazy.
And it's so hard to break through. It's so hard to break through. So it's like you really gotta like just be aware.
Yeah.
People don't really talk about the unlearning. That's the hard part. Like we grew up in Jane and Finch, and then coming out of that, and you're like now downtown. You're in different groups. There's a part of me like. People see me as sometimes social, and sometimes people see me as like a little bit more reserved. Both are true. And it's like that part where I was like, I'm trying to find a balance that makes sense for me without like taking away that authenticity. Yeah. For me, it was just like unlearning a lot of trauma of like, you know, of even myself and like not having role models when I was younger, and it's kind of like going through that trauma itself. It's like when you feel like you were left in the dark so long, you get comfortable with being in the dark. True. So when someone tells you, yo, like, when someone tells you to like get out of that or kind of like step outside of like that darkness, you're like, well, this is what I know though. This is what kept me safe. Yeah. And then you're trying to connect with other people, and you're doing a great job at it. So that like Sima was saying, like just seeing other creatives kind of do it, like I kind of get that kind of like inspiration to be like, you know what, like people are telling you your stories, they're feeling comfortable with you, you've created something special, you've created something that takes a lot of time and effort, you know, like, so I want to give you your flowers on that, because it's definitely not easy. Yeah. And I know about overthinking, and then it's not like, oh, it just turns off. Like I'm definitely in that part where I used my overthinking to help me.
No, 100%, and I definitely feel comfortable here, and I think this is great for me because I haven't podcasted in a couple months, 3 months. Yeah. I just been so burnt out.
And it's funny because continue.
Yeah, no, I just been a little burnt out because like we do so many different various things, like the events. And my birthday was May 27th, so like I had to make, you know, I did a little barbecue for that. Yeah. So I just feel like I'm like, tomorrow I'm podcasting actually with my cousin and like good familiar people. So I'm excited. But this is like, you guys got me back into this groove again, and yeah, this is the first place I haven't. This is my first podcast.
Being in the backseat of your car makes you want to drive.
Exactly. Yeah. So now you guys have me get back to set up. Yeah. I want to set up. I want to charge up the batteries.
It was funny because we had that conversation at Juve, and it was just like, yo, like I like having conversation with people that are like, you know, kind of in that middle ground where it's like, yo, I don't know if we should keep going or like, you know, we're trying to figure stuff out because it's like I see that potential in you. You guys already have like a very solid platform. Like a lot of people came to me and said, yo, like I've seen these guys do stuff like after I did that video with you, right? Yeah. And I'm just like, yo, for you guys to take that break, I'm like, nah, you guys gotta keep going.
I know, and I know, and that's what. Yeah, right. There's no stopping at the end of the day. You know, you can be in your feelings, you can be in your head, but if you slow down, it's just gonna ruin the momentum. So you're right. No, I'm back though. I feel good, and like doing this right now is good for me.
And I'm happy that this place, like you coming here, like gave you that drive.
It is. It adds to the ignition. Yeah. Fuel to the fire. So,
So we're giving you the feeling that maybe it gets better.
Yeah. There you go. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Yo, where's my sticker? That's actually fire.
You got our second stickers. Second batch of stickers.
These are sick, bro. Yeah. These are sick. You guys put these everywhere, bro. This is lit. Maybe it gets better. Yeah. And okay, so I guess the umbrella is to kind of like storm. It's kind of like
so yo, the umbrella. who came up with that? Was it you that came up with the idea?
I think it's like when it's raining and stuff like that. You'll be like, oh, maybe it gets better. You could get caught without the umbrella. You're just like, shit, like, I'm wet. Yeah. Versus like all someone has to do is, like you said, is that helping hand. Maybe you brought your own umbrella. Someone else brought the umbrella for you, but you get a sense of comfort under it, right? You're really protected under it. So that's where we kind of like figured out that kind of line. If you look at here, that's like the original logo versus the one that you have.
Also in the original logo, we are the 4 raindrops right there.
I didn't even know that myself. Oh shit. Okay, I learned something new too.
I didn't even take that in.
I didn't even take that.
Y'all gotta make some merch with this logo.
No, we do. So we have hoodies coming, t-shirts and stuff. We actually took some pictures in New York. Like, we actually did, like, a proper shoot, but we're still working on the tweaks and stuff. Because, like, doing all the back end stuff.
I already know. Things are never perfect.
And I always say, like, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So we're trying to make sure this stuff gets out pushed. Like, we're trying to push it out correctly, right?
Yeah.
And like he said, nothing's perfect, but just taking the time to actually execute things properly is important.
Yeah, there's no rush to the things.
No, 100%. 100%, bro.
So, but yeah. Is there anything else you want to tell the people, like anything you got going on coming besides, like, your episode that you're about to record?
Yeah, we're gonna film an episode this Sunday. Next week I'm going to a cottage. Actually,
are you gonna do a vlog?
I will vlog it probably. I want to go on live on TikTok. I'm gonna definitely probably go live on TikTok, and then also I'm going the cottage I'm going to are the first 2 people that I ever got on the podcast 3 years ago.
Nice.
So we're gonna do a reunion kind of episode.
Okay, nice.
So that's gonna feel nostalgic, and get those guys because they seen my vision. Like they showed up for me when I was like nothing. I had nothing, bro. I was in an Airbnb. Yeah. Me and my ex, like, we rented Airbnb. Yeah. We had her brother's camera. Yeah. Bad lighting. We didn't know what we were doing. Yeah. And they came for that episode. So
everything manifests together.
Exactly.
Full circle moment.
Exactly. So I'm hoping that goes well. And then from there, you're just gonna see more vlogs, more like interviews, like on the street. I want to get more live interviews on the street, and just keep putting myself out there. Go to events. Travel is coming too. If I don't travel, then I'm a hypocrite because I keep saying it, and I'm just so discouraged that I haven't done it yet.
Get it out the group chat, man. Get it out.
I got to. If I might leave my friends if they don't come. I might go by myself, bro.
Hey, we might have to do another collab with you.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Wherever you guys are going, bro. Like, I like to just put myself in different rooms.
We really want to do like a UK trip because like we made a lot of connections.
What was that carnival? Nottingham Carnival or something?
Yeah, that's coming up this August. Yeah. We might have to do something. We might have to do something.
Let's see what the
final. I feel like I feel like we've turned up in UK because they like when people like outside of the UK too.
Yeah. It's a lot like Toronto. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think if we go there, it would be great.
Yeah. Okay. Dope. No, I definitely would love to do something like that. I'm down to go with anyone at this point, bro. I just want to connect. Yeah. That's my goal.
Like even Lockdown T, like, when we met up with him in New York and shit, he's like, yo, you guys gotta come to the UK,
Yeah?
And then we have another video coming before this with this artist from the UK. We did like a little Zoom meeting and stuff. So we like
how was that? Like with the audio? Like does that work well? Because I never tried that. Well, not
Zoom, but we used this one app called Riverside.
Okay.
So it went pretty well. Like the audio didn't sound bad. Like
that's good.
Y'all will see it when it comes out, right?
Yeah. So I'll check that out too.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you if anything, and yeah.
Last question before you guys. This is random though.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food? Like, what's the best eats? Like, what's your go-to eats?
Yo, I've been getting into like dumplings.
Dumpling?
Like dumplings.
Asian dumplings or
like soup dumplings?
Honestly, any type of dumpling. It could be like anywhere. Like
doubles? Well, that's
doubles.
But
but I'm talking like more like the
dim sum.
Dim sum?
Yeah, like
I like dim sum is amazing.
Like even
I love dim sum.
My ex is Asian, so I know about the dim sum.
I literally only had it once.
They got me with the soy sauce. That for me is like, I'm not even like a guilty pleasures kind of guy. I'm not really a foodie. Like I just eat whatever is there, right?
Yeah.
But that kind of like is my
you
comfort.
eat for energy? That's it?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's outrageous.
That's just me though. I
eat for dopamine.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie.
I love
food. Food is a high for me. Like when I eat a good eats.
Do you need are your iPad kid? Do you need your show with your eats?
Yeah. I'm a YouTube baby though.
YouTube
baby. I watch like so much like YouTube, like just rant. Like I watch a lot of academics. I watch
like blind, like interviews.
on. Come on. That's me, though. Yeah. I'm a noodles guy, though. I eat Mr. Noodles like religiously.
We got Naruto in here.
Yeah. Ramen. I put the egg in it.
I got that. Oh, same.
Yeah,
I had that yesterday. Oh, fire.
Same.
Yeah. Shit noodles?
Yeah. The red pack?
Yeah. Stay good.
Come on.
Yo, I was gonna ask you something that just slipped me.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say my favorite food would have to be. Funny enough, I have like 3. So chicken wings,
Okay, my bro loves those.
pasta, and sushi.
Chicken wings, pasta, sushi. That's solid. I love sushi.
I can't pick.
You do this every time though. Like when it comes to pasta, which pasta?
Yeah, that's random.
You're checking Alfredo.
Is it not?
Guy,
Ew, Alfredo over the marinara?
boys, bro.
I'll pick Alfredo.
Nah, that's crazy. Alfredo is so hard to season. Like you can put so much salt and it still doesn't hit. Like for me, I need like the red sauce for me personally. I don't like Alfredo. It's not that seasoned.
You gotta put other stuff like
what? Tell me like what? Garlic,
sun dried tomato, garlic. Sun dried tomato like it'll give it
a kick.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been trying to kick it up like
spinach and like if you season whatever meat that you use, it gives it like obviously gives the pasta a different flavor, right?
Shrimp or chicken?
Yeah. Shrimp or chicken
for the pasta. I'm going shrimp. It absorbs the flavors better. Come on.
Seafood. I don't play about my seafood. I don't play about that.
My shrimp always has to be breaded. I don't like it.
Oh, you're
really?
Right. I don't really like breaded shrimp like that. I rather like regular shrimp.
I don't like it on pasta.
Yeah, I don't like breaded shrimp on pasta. That's like
that's why I'd rather go with chicken and pasta.
So are you a fried chicken man?
No, chicken parm on pasta? Fire.
Chicken parm, yeah, I would go with that. That's fine. That sounds good.
Lasagna.
But my favorite, lasagna.
Macaroni.
I was gonna say my favorite is lasagna.
Lasagna?
Yeah.
I go Mac. I like lasagna, but I just like.
Have you tried?
Unless you make it, if you do the bread, like the breadcrumbs, and you.
Yeah,
bacon bread, whatever.
But also, have you tried?
Have
you tried lasagna pasta? Like
sometimes lasagna is too oily for me. Like I just feel like they mess up lasagna more than they mess up macaroni.
No. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that is
there's more
true.
layers.
There's more layers. So some layers are not cooked or just too sloppy.
Lasagna is easier to make.
I've never seen a man. I've seen mans fuck up macaroni, but like the percentage are way lower. I've seen more mans fuck up lasagna.
That's true.
I could go for lasagna right now. But I also love sushi. I also love sushi though.
It's Stay Hungry though, isn't it? Stay Hungry.
Yeah,
that's the network.
Stay hungry. That's the network.
Stay Hungry network, man.
Yeah, but anything anybody wants to say before we wrap up?
We're good, man. It was a pleasure having you.
This was good vibes. You guys are actually good vibes. I forgot when I got here. I just feel like I was here.
And I'm gonna be real. We went out the night before, so I was a little grouchy already coming in. So I was just like, but I feel a lot better. I feel hungry now because now I was like, now I could like actually I don't really go out and buy food, but the moments I do buy food, I'm like, today might be the day.
You know what we should do? We should go to Chino's.
I think that's the taco spot.
Is it in the end?
Yeah,
it's right here. It's right by York.
No,
actually, go to Chino's. Yeah.
What kind of food is it?
Tacos, anything like street food kind of. Like, they do like a lot of fusion.
What's crazy? I have a barbecue I'm low-key going to today too. Oh, so I'm about to get some good food.
Yeah, eating.
Yeah.
Are you going to July 1st barbecue?
What's that? Which one's
with
that?
I didn't even show. Yo, you gotta come. What are you doing on Canada Day?
Yo, I have nothing to do.
Come through.
I'll
see the details.
Do I bring sand to the beach or not?
Shout out to AY.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Oh yeah. Yo, this was a great episode. Thank you for coming through.
Of course.
Tell the people where they can find you.
You guys already know Players Play Media. You guys can catch us on Players Play Media. Everything the same name. TikTok, Twitch. No, we don't even have Twitch. Sorry.
Not yet.
Instagram, Snapchat. What else? TikTok. Yeah, everything Players Play Media, man. You guys will find us there.
Yeah. Well, that has been in our episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check us on Spotify. 5 stars. Yes, 5 stars. What else? Check out BlckkStar's gaming channel.
BlckkStar Games.
Yes, I like that. We'll tell my bosses our next BlckkStar.
Check out Deluxe's YouTube page, Find Your Heart, documentaries and all that stuff. And if you see me, you see me. I'm outside, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the building. But that's been our episode, and peace.
Yo.